stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Man, I've already done all sorts of stuff today. Feels like I've already done most of my day. Got up, got ready, went down to the courthouse. I'm a little upset. I feel fooled. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. All right. Thank you. You had to at least look nice for the board, even if I did end up yelling at him. No, I didn't really yell at him, but so for the last year, I've been telling Adams County we need a detox. They're like, okay, we're working on it. We have vendors. I'm like, I need to know who the vendors are. They're like, and they put me off, and they put me off. A few days ago, I found out that they were making the vote today, and they were voting on Aurora mental health. Okay. If I was to pick anybody out of everybody, I probably would have picked Aurora mental health also, and that is because they are the least worst. It's kind of like picking president. You just pick whichever one's not as bad anymore. Don't bother being Republican or Democrat. No point anymore. Well, I found out they already voted on it, that they were there to give them their check. So I was about 2 minutes late. They took their check and they left. They didn't even hear me speak. Nope, they just took their check and left. Thanks for the money, guys. We got to go. $1.1 million, 43 cents. So, yeah, I was a little peeved. And what I brought up was, I've been trying to talk to you guys for a year, and I'm 2 minutes too late. And I have to say, I'm pretty peeved about that. So, I did talk a little bit about the state of what is going on. All right, let's get to the topic. A great paradox. That's going to be a lot more fun to talk about than me being frustrated with people lying. So, not lying. I'm not going to assume that people were lying. I'm not going to go that route. But, oh boy, does Dion have questions. Let's get started. The Dion and Michelle show. Welcome to the Dion and Michelle Daily Trudge. Seems to be us two nowadays. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. When it comes to the summer, it's harder for people to get on here and things like that. So the amount of people that I actually have in the summer tends to go down a little bit. So, but I'm usually at a 1, 2, 3, 4 people, which is fine, because once I went on TikTok, and when I finally had 100 followers, right, and I went live, I will never do that again. No. People think it's okay to come onto your lives and kind of do whatever the fuck they want. And that's just so uncool. Keaton. That's like uncool. Huh? But we're going to be talking about the great paradoxes today. I jacked up my wrist. We're going to be going to the 12 traditions, 12 by 12, page 151. Okay, stay as long as you can, Ingrid. It is night. Nothing wrong with stopping by, claiming your seat, saying, hello, hello, all you pulpit, all you today. All right. So what are we trying to get to here? These legacies of suffering. 151. All right. Let's just go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just start at the beginning of it. Tradition 5. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. I have a feeling we're going to be talking about doctors and cures of cancer. And shoemakers, stick to thy last. Better do one thing supremely well than many badly. That is the central theme of this tradition. Around it, our society gathers in unity. The very life of our fellowship requires the preservation of this principle. All right, you've probably heard jack of all trades, master of none. That's kind of what they're talking about here. We have to master. We do one thing here. We try and carry the message to the alcoholic who still suffers. Okay, we carry the message. That means you're going to go somewhere where they're at. You're not going to go wait at an AA meeting and wait for them to come to you. That's not what it's saying. Why do you think I'm pushing detox so hard? We need detox meetings. It's killing us. So, Alcoholics Anonymous can be likened to a group of physicians who might find a cure for cancer and upon whose concerted work would depend the answer for suffers this disease. True, each physician in such group might have his own specialty. Every doctor concerned would at times wish he could devote himself to his chosen field rather than work only with the group. But once these men had hit upon a cure, once it became apparent that only by their united effort could this be accomplished, then all of them would feel bound to devote themselves solely to the relief of cancer. In the radiance of such miraculous discovery, any doctor would set his other ambitions aside at whatever personal cost. I'm going to give you an example. I had asked some people to come down, not people that were out of town, but I'd asked some people to come down and join me today. And people have work and things, so I wasn't expecting anybody, but somebody did come down, and Tyler's not going to care if I say his name. Tyler came down because, did he do anything? Sure, he was there, and I needed that because I do this shit alone, man. Okay, I don't want to be a doctor to come find some answer and do this alone. That sucks. And then, of course, by the end of the day, I'll be like, I fucking hate people. I'm tired of people. In the radiance of such miraculous discovery, just as firmly bound by obligation are the members of Alcoholics Anonymous, who have demonstrated that they can help problem drinkers as others seldom can. Right? Bound by obligation. One of those words that we AAers we have to learn to like that word. Obligation. I don't want to give no obligation. Not yet. I'm not ready. The unique ability of each AA to identify himself with and bring recovery to the newcomer in no way depends upon his learning, eloquence, or on any special individual skills. The only thing that matters is that he is an alcoholic who has found a key to sobriety. These legacies of suffering and of recovery are easily passed among alcoholics, one to another. This is our gift from God, and its bestowal upon others like us is the one aim that animates AAs all around the globe. That's so weird. You would think, okay, There's another reason for this singleness of purpose. It is a great paradox of AA that we know we can seldom keep the precious gift of sobriety unless we give it away. I was talking to a sponsee yesterday and he finished the steps. Then comes the scary part for almost every single sponsee. It's your turn to chair. Oh, it's your turn to start sponsoring. I said, you have now qualified at the point where you can start sponsoring. And I knew this is where he was going to have trouble. And I know he's going to have trouble with it. Okay. Because he's one of those guys where he's afraid that he's going to mess with somebody else's life. He still thinks he has that much power over somebody else's life. And as we get through the traditions, he'll start to learn that. But then I let him know that, hey, I get that. I understand why. And it's legitimate. If it's his recovery, if he wants to take his time, he can. But I told him, you cannot keep this now unless you give it away. You understand that, right? He's like, yeah, I understand that. So, okay, not much more I can do. If a group of doctors possessed a cancer cure, they might be conscience-stricken if they failed their mission through self-seeking. Yet such a failure wouldn't jeopardize their personal survival. For us, if we neglect those who are still sick, there is an unremitting danger to our own lives and sanity. Under these compulsions of self-preservation, duty, and love, it is not strange that our society has concluded that it has but one high mission: to carry the AA message to those who don't know that there is a way out. So there's also a lot of people, when this was written, a lot of people didn't know about AA. There's still a lot of people that don't know about AA. There are a lot of people that do know about AA, but they don't know about AA. They will always say it. This is not what I expected. Well, of course not. Your expectations are skewed. What did you think we were going to teach you how to drink like a gentleman? We don't know how to do that. No, but I can teach you how to act like one. I can teach you how to have a set of morals. I can teach you how to become a person that is worth having in somebody else's life. I can teach you how to save somebody else's life. These are all skills that I have, if somebody wants them. Highlighting the wisdom of AA single purpose, a member tells a story. Restless one day, I felt I had better do some 12-step work, maybe take out some insurance against a slip, but first I'd have to find a drunk to work on. So I hopped the subway to Town Hospital, where I asked Dr. Silkworth if he had a prospect. Nothing too promising, the little doc said. There's one chap on the 3rd floor who might be a possibility, but he's an awfully tough Irishman. I never saw a man so obstinate. He shouts that if his partner would treat him better and his wife would leave him alone, he'd soon solve his alcohol problem. He's had a bad case of DTs. He's pretty foggy and very suspicious of everybody. Doesn't sound too good, does it? But working with him may do something for you, so why don't you have a go at it? I was soon sitting beside a big hulk of a man, decidedly unfriendly. He stared at me out of eyes which were slits in his red and swollen face. I had to agree the doctor, he certainly didn't look good, but I told him of my own story. I explained what a wonderful fellowship we had, how well we had understood each other. I bowed down on the hopeless of the drunk's dilemma. I insisted that few drunks could ever get well in their own steam, but that in our groups we could do together what we could not do separately. He interrupted to scoff, and at this asserted he'd fix his wife, his partner, and his alcoholism by himself. Sarcastically, he asked, how much does your scheme cost? You're going to get questions like this. You're going to get weird questions. Okay? In sales, we call these rebuttals. Okay? How much does it cost? Well, it's not going to cost you anything. Nothing at all. I was thankful. I tell him nothing at all. His next question, what are you getting out of it? Of course, my answer was my own sobriety and a mighty happy life. Still dubious. Yeah, these people don't trust us yet. Yeah, and he should be dubious because everything else he has tried, he has failed. Now you come along with something that might be too good to be true, but it's not too good to be true. There's work to be done. Okay. He demanded, "Do you really mean the only reason you are here is to try and help me and to help yourself?" Yes, I said, that's absolutely all there is to it. There's no angle. Then, instantly, I venture to talk about the spiritual side of our program. What a freeze that drunk gave me. I'd no sooner gotten the word spiritual out of my mouth than he pounced. "Oh," he said, "now I get it. You're proselytizing for some damn religion sector or other. Where do you get that no angle stuff? I belong to a great church, and that means everything to me. You got nerve to come in here and talking religion. Isn't it great to be a spiritual person?" Yeah. I've never even read the Bible, but I got this good feeling I follow it. Thank heaven I came up with the right answer for that one. Yeah, this was all God giving him this answer. It was based foursquare on the single purpose of AA. "You have faith," I said, "perhaps far deeper faith than mine. No doubt you're better taught in religion matters than I. So I can't tell you anything about religion. I don't even want to try. I'll bet, too, that you could give me a letter perfect definition of humility. But what you've told me about yourself and your problems and how you propose to lick them, I think I know what is wrong." Now, I want you to notice what he did. He told the guy he was right because that's the truth. But then he says, "But I know what's wrong with you." "Okay," he said, "give me the business." "Well," said I, "I think you're just a conceited Irishman who thinks he can run the whole show." Doesn't have anything to do with God, but he got him. See, only alcoholics can really say this. Doctors can't say they can't. They're not allowed to say shit like that. You know, they're bound by certain rules we don't have to follow. Okay. That really rocked him, but as he calmed down, he began to listen while I tried to show him that humility was the main key to sobriety. Finally, he saw I wasn't attempting to change his religious views, that I wanted him to find the grace in his own religion that would aid his recovery. From there, we got along fine. Yeah, that's the great thing. If you're being forced to believe in something in AA, please find another meeting. If you have a sponsor that is forcing you to believe in a certain set of things, please get a different sponsor. Do we all believe in this set of things? Yes, but it comes naturally. Okay. When recovery or anything is forced, it doesn't work the way it is supposed to. Now, concludes the old timer, suppose I had been obliged to talk to this man on religious grounds. Suppose my answer had been that AA needed a lot of money, that AA went in for education, hospitals, rehabilitation. Suppose I had suggested that I'd take a hand in his domestic business affairs. Where would we have wound up? No place, of course. Years later, the tough Irish customer liked to say, "My sponsor sold me on one idea, and that was sobriety. At the time, I couldn't have bought anything else." Yeah, when we approach a new man, we have got to meet them where they're at. And I find part of the problem that people that are in recovery that also get into the clinical side, that start to get into 12-step work, will talk too clinical. Never ever talk in layman's terms. Don't use things like, "Well, you might have alcohol use disorder." Don't say that shit. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck is it?" You might have AED, and they're gonna go, "What the fuck is that?" No, alcohol. Let's just stick with alcoholic. Don't talk down to them. Don't be angry about alcohol. Nobody is going to listen to you. If you were still angry at alcohol, you still have an alcoholic mind. It's okay. You'll get through that. Fourth and fifth step. Is alcohol on your fourth step? Was alcohol on your fourth step? Hey, maybe it should have been, huh? All right, there's a reading to this. So the paradox that we are talking about right now is that you cannot keep this unless you give it away. The great paradox of AA is that I know I cannot keep the precious gift of sobriety unless I give it away. My primary purpose is to stay sober. In AA, I have no other goal, and the importance of this matter is life or death for me. If I veer from this purpose, I lose. But AA is not only for me, it is for the alcoholic who still suffers. The legions of recovering alcoholics stay sober by sharing with fellow alcoholics. The way to my recovery is to show others in AA that when I share with them, we both grow in a grace of higher power, and both of us are on the road to a happy destiny. Good stuff. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out.